Come along with us on another adventure as we tackle our hardest challenge yet, crossing the Indian Ocean.
Don't you want a man who fully understands? A sailor's heart, a sailor's heart.
So, what are you looking at here, love?
I was just having a look at this big weather system that's kind of engulfing us at the moment. So the length of this system here, this one storm here, is 1,142 nautical miles long.
Crazy, man.
1142. It's just, and width-wise, it's 516 nautical miles wide. 500 miles wide, 1,000 miles long.
Huge. No outrunning that.
No, you're just stuck in that shit for days and days and days. So we just
wait till it calms
not do
down.
it at all. Not done. See it. So this is low pressure system here. You see that? That's just a big trough. That's where all the bad weather is basically originating, converging, convecting. Yeah. So hopefully that shifts a little bit further north and we can drop down low, because it's all clear down here, it's beautiful. And that's where we want to get into that wind. We want to drop down south, get into this southeasterly trade and run just past the top of Madagascar over towards Tanzania over here. But we've got another big low pressure system there, which is, technically speaking, that's actually a cyclone, but obviously not a tropical cyclone because it's not compressed and condensed. So yeah, just that rotation of pressure as a cyclone, but it's a pretty volatile bit of ocean, this one, between Maldives and Africa. We're going to get, I think it's not going to be particularly pleasant.
Yeah, we're going to get the shit kicked out of us at some point.
I think so.
Getting ready to leave Asia, man. We've got our Swahili words up on the wall for practice, and the captain's checking weather and messages.
It's actually downloading music. Yeah, ready to go. Unfortunately, Charlize and I are crook, which isn't a very good way to start a passage, but I guess if you're going to be on passage anywhere, hey Dad, it's you. If you're going to be sick, it's probably best to be on passage, so it is what it is. Old fella.
Folded the washing, got all our last bits of washing
What
done.
are you doing?
Printed out some schoolwork for the kids on Tanzania. Getting organised.
Alrighty, well you can see we're underway. Leaving the most southern island of the Maldives, Gan, for Tanzania. 2,200 nautical miles to go. Just under 5,000 kilometers, or just over, I don't know, I'll work it out later. A lot of nerves. It's our longest passage by a long way. In fact, by double, pretty much. So it's going to be an interesting trip, this one. There's going to be, it's going to be anywhere between 14 to 18 days, like Sarah said. So anything could happen. Anything will happen, to be honest. I dare say we'll get to experience absolutely everything you could experience on passage. So the weather for the next couple of days is looking not the best, but it's the best it's looked for the last week. So we've decided to take this little opportunity and run. I think there's going to be a fair bit of motoring for the first 3 days just to get south. The ITCZ's moved up, which means the winds are now swung kind of out of the south into the ITCZ. So they're light for the first couple of days. We're sort of seeing forecast of 6 to 8 knots. That being said, it'll probably be at least 50% higher than that. So I reckon 10 to 15 knots, which won't be particularly pleasant, but once we get down level with Chagos, we'll hook a right-hand turn and start heading west, where we should start to pick up some decent wind that's favourable. The winds down there are still running east to west, as is the current. So with any luck, we'll just sit ourselves. We don't want to go too far south and we don't want to stay too far north. We want to just sit right in the honey spot and in the honey pot and just have the right amount of wind. Somewhere between 10 and 15 knots, we should be right. Trying my hardest to entice a nice big fish. We had a little bit of stainless steel left over in the tool shed from our old washing machine bracket. So I just cut a piece off and bent it like that. Nice and shiny. It's essentially a flasher. You just can't find anything like this in Asian countries. Usually they got teasers or something like that. They don't, so I'll run that behind the boat. If we get any sunlight, it'll be good, but we'll see if it makes a difference. I'm hoping so.
Mahi mahi, baby.
Yeah, I made it the other day and we put it out in the water, and about an hour after we got onto that marlin. So we don't want a marlin, we'd love a mahi mahi or a nice big tuna.
Or
See
a
what
Spanish.
happens. Yeah. Cut it, cut it, fucking cut it.
Hey. Brennan? Brennan?
Come on. Come on.
Thank God for that.
We got to get rid of these skirts. We can't keep fucking doing this.
I said I guarantee.
Can't keep fucking doing this. These marlin are huge, and there's nothing. We can't, like, if that reel can't stop them, we got no fucking hope.
Day 2 was pretty long and boring. With very little wind, we motored all day and it was very hot. But on day 3, the wind picked up again. And the Indian Ocean did too.
Morning, Starshine.
Yeah, it says hello. Yeah.
We should have covered some miles this time.
We're at 340 or 350 miles now, but last night was good because we've got the current with us now,
Yeah.
which is, it's just dulled that choppy shit down, and we've only got 12 knots of breeze, but we're on 7 knots over ground, so
It's pretty good. Can't complain about that.
if this is what it's, you know, like, we'll give it another day or so, but if this is what it stays like, we might just stay in this latitude the whole way
Yeah. Yep, good idea.
instead of going any further south, because the further south you go, the bigger the wind will get.
Yeah.
If you go any further north, the wind will drop, so we might just sort of pick a latitude and stick around here.
And we just got to watch that cyclone at the other end.
It's already hit land.
Was it?
Yeah, so it'll be gone in the next couple of days.
It was a beautiful day out here, so I sat on the dolphin seat to enjoy it. And as night fell and we were having dinner in the cockpit, a booby decided to join us.
He just flew into the bloody clears. He's not injured, he's just an idiot. Okay, sitting right there. Go on, away you go. Get out of here. Go on.
He managed to fly away into the dark night.
Sleeping on the job.
Yep. Nothing happening out here at a startling pace.
These boobies gone. Oh yeah. Wonder what mess we've got to clean up there tonight. Yeah.
I made a treat for the crew.
Banana muffins! What's the verdict there, Brendo?
Pretty good.
So good we didn't want to share.
Let's eat them before the kids wake up. I am not singing on YouTube. It's not happening. Sorry to disappoint. Do it. You've got a way better voice than me.
Quick little, I guess, day 5 update. We're, I think we're about just over 500 miles now from the Maldives, and we've passed Chagos. We really worked hard those first few days to drop down as far south as we could to try and get into the better winds and better current. Touch wood, it looks like it's paid off. We're down sitting at about 6 degrees south at the moment, still sort of heading in a bit of a southwesterly direction, but It's lovely down here. The swell's huge, which is good because it's actually spaced the period out. Yeah, got about 10 knots at the moment, sailing along at 6. Still got 11 days to go though. 11 days after being out here for 5, so 16 for a total trip isn't too bad. I'll be surprised if we get to maintain that, but it is what it is. We've pretty much had the exact same sail configuration the whole time we've been out. Heady and main, just with a single reef in the main. It's not really required at the moment. Like you can see, it's pretty beautiful conditions out here, but I don't know, it just, for us, it alleviates the stress of our potential blow up or a problem, you know. If you've already got the main reefed down, and we're not, you know, it's not like we're going slow, we're doing 6.5, 7 knots, so just leave it. May as well just leave it like that. Especially at night time, we'll still throw a single reef in the head sail, and we've been ticking along nicely. But yeah, it's just, the camera obviously never shows it, ever. But believe it or not, there's a 2 to 3 meter swell out there at the moment, which is lifting us pretty decently when the big ones come through. But the period's about 16 seconds, so it's actually fantastic. It's really smooth the seas out for us. 2 days ago we had 2 meter seas at 8 seconds, and it was just fucking dreadful. So yeah, we're really enjoying this today. Fingers crossed it stays like this for a few days. It should do with the height that we are at the moment, the latitude, sorry. The ITCZ's up to the north. The really shit strong winds and all that sort of stuff are down south. We're sort of sitting right on the precipice of that zone there. So we'll do our best to stay here and try and maintain this sea state wind and direction. So anyway, nothing really to report. I still haven't got down and had a look at the throttle cable yet to try and fix something, because we haven't needed the motor. So I figured if we can sail the whole way there, when we get there I'll just get Brody down, or we'll just wedge it or something to get in. There's a guy in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania that says that he has the throttle cables I'm looking for, so we might just go and anchor there if we can. They're unfortunately about to cop a cyclone, a very, very unseasonably late cyclone, Cyclone Hedaya it's called. It's only a category 1, but yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how that goes. It's hitting them this afternoon, and we're still 11 days out. But hopefully the damage is minimal, and the people in Tanzania and Kenya get through it all right. I'm moderately concerned about debris when you have big cyclones like that. Typically, big rain ensues, and yeah, you have logs and all sorts of shit wash out into the ocean. So might be a nervous night or two on the way into Tanzania, but we'll see how we go. If we've got to divert, we'll divert. If not, we'll see what happens. But still a long way out, and yeah, take it as it comes. For now, we're just going to enjoy this magic sailing.
Day 5 was some spectacular smooth sailing. Even if it did get a little rowdy in the afternoon.
How you doing? Nice sailing, huh?
It's been a crazy day.
It's been all over the shop, hasn't it? Bit of a roller coaster.
We were completely becalmed this morning, down to 2 knots. Then at lunchtime it picked up and we were doing 9 knots.
Yep.
And the swell just kept growing all day, and now we've got this giant waves, like they're smashing inside on. It's coming up through the trampolines at the front. We've got salt spray all down the starboard side, even on the clears and the solar panels on the roof. Like, it's nuts.
Not uncomfortable though, is it?
No.
It's actually quite fun.
It's pretty cool.
We haven't had an ocean crossing like this, well, ever. We've not, I don't know, the last 3 days have been pretty bloody good. Pretty good sailing.
Yeah.
And we're pointing though. Like, the wind was supposed to be on our hind quarter. We've been sailing at 50 degrees for the last 3 days.
Yeah, the wind didn't drop out until today. But then it came back, so I can't complain about that.
We'll take it. The seas are getting pretty bloody big though. Big old squall. Fortunately, we're reefed. But yeah, wasn't that bad. It's just really quick. Seas are getting a little bit aggressive. Oh, that wasted rainwater. While we're on passage, we take the hoses out of our tanks just to make sure that we don't cop a tank full of salt water when the waves come over the bow. So it always hurts me watching all that rainwater just wash away. Excelsior rides it well though, eh? What are you doing right now? 8.3 knots, or nearly 9.
And we're
9 knots. And we're reefed down, so not too bad. I love that. I know that won't stay like that, but anyway.
What day is it? Day 5? Day 6? Day 6 out here. And it's really squally today. Captain's hand steering. Mainsail's still reefed, which gives us a bit of comfort, knowing that there's quite a few squalls rolling through. It's been really tedious out here though. The wind's been dropping and then a squall will roll through and then it whips up the sea state, just making life a bit challenging and uncomfortable. But it's nothing we can't handle. Excelsior's eating it up.
She is, we're not.
We're over it.
Yeah. Oh, there you go.
We're clinging onto the fact that when we get to Africa, there's red meat and red wine. Bring it on. And beer, cold beer. Yes.
Just got to try and keep the wind after 90 degrees. Otherwise we'll have to reef. Couldn't be bothered.
Well, yeah, reef again.
We've got 20 knots on the beam right now. But as soon as I bring the wind forward of 90 degrees, our apparent goes 25, 26, 27 knots. As soon as I drop it after the beam, the apparent wind speed drops off. So you're not creating as much. Unfortunately, this has got us on a heading to Somalia, which we don't want to go to. But
Hell no.
it's just, I can see the gusts coming across the water. It's just going to be in and out. So when it drops, I'll turn back into it. Keep the speed up because it keeps us comfortable. As soon as the gust hits us, you know I'm coming, I'll bear away and run with the wind again. There it comes again. See how it's over 20 degrees, 20 knots at the moment? Watch, once that needle drops below 90 degrees, watch that apparent wash off. Just like that. All that does is just reduces the loading on the sails and on the helm for me. As soon as you go back above 90 degrees, I'll show you. Watch this. If we bring that needle back forward at 90 degrees, that apparent wind will go through the roof. And the boat speed picks up rapidly. Ready? There you go.
8.1.
Back up to 19 knots. Yep. Ready for the drop again now. Not to mention, it's much more comfortable when you run with it. So back down to 15.
We're still doing 10.5 to 10.7 we got to then.
Yeah.
This would be one of many squalls we would encounter on our passage across the Indian.
This one, Ray?
That's a double. Will do. Push that back up a bit. I know it seems ridiculous, but you wait till you see the weather that's coming. I reckon if we're already reefed, pass from that way. I think if we point a little bit higher and release the main a bit, we might slow down and it might pass in front of us. We're just gonna hang on. If I just let me concentrate for 15 minutes. I don't want to load that heady up too much. Like that. feeling, I had a feeling that was going to be a ripper. Got 32 knots.
Fuck, really?
Yeah, it's just dropping out now. 24 apparent. Just a balancing act. Try not to load it up too much and then try not to let it luff either.
Welcome to the Indian Ocean. Oh shit.
The Indian was beginning to show us what she's capable of.
So, where we are at the moment, we are exactly 400 miles, roughly 400 miles, to the west of Chagos, which is that island right there. So I click this out here, there you go, it's about 400, 396, 400 miles, slightly down there. So that right there is the wind we should be seeing, which is almost spot on, straight out of the south. Click that away, click this here, we can get a bit of forecast. So the forecast is saying that it's pretty much going to hold steady out of the south. It's going to do exactly tonight what it did the last 2 nights and just drop out to shit, which is going to be moderately frustrating. Tomorrow's very light on, but then the wind sort of picks up in the next couple of days. The reason we came down this far was because the wind should be out of the east or the southeast right now, which is what this shows by Tuesday, that wind right there. So we dropped down from here, came down through here, and we've got ourselves through here. This is the Seychelles, Victoria here, and this is Dero Island, Deroche, however you pronounce it. And this is the Mascarenhas Bank, however you pronounce that too. Our plan was to basically cut straight through the middle here to give us plenty of depth when it comes time to pass over the Mascarenhas Bank plateau, and then also to give us a little bit of height. This is what they call the Witch's Cauldron here. This is a significant compression zone just above Madagascar. So we want to avoid that right there, because the current rips through here, the wind rips through there, that's doing 30 odd knots. So what I did was I planned to hit about 7 degrees south, which is where we are now, and to ride this current as well. We're switching the currents. So this is the current. So we're sitting in it right now, got about 1 knot, but then that's where we'll go through here, stay in the top of this current here, and it'll just keep us north of the Witch's Cauldron, and then when we get closer we can sort of drop down once that wind dies down a little bit and run our way up into Dar es Salaam. So it all looks good in planning and in theory. Doesn't always work out that way, but I'm pretty confident that this time we've got it right. The only other thing we have to contend with is these bloody storms that keep ripping through. We just copped that one pretty brutally, as you would have seen, and these sort of come through every 2 days. These big systems, I guess you could say. Every 2 days they just seem to run through here. So we should have a nice clear night tonight looking at that, but then you can guarantee in 2 days time, as we pass under the Seychelles, we'll probably get another touch up. So it is what it is. We'll just keep looking at the weather and making sure we're doing the right thing. But I think where we are right now, we're just on the precipice of, just enough wind as opposed to too much wind. You get down here and it's really honking. Up here and there's not enough. So as long as we stay about this latitude here, we should be just fine. 10 knots.
10 knots?
We were just then doing 8.5. It's sort of coming, we're surfing waves, but
Oh yeah.
9 knots. Double reefed head sail, single reefed main. She's flying.
Looking out here.
Yeah.
It's gonna die off later.
Oh, tonight and tomorrow looks like it's going to be an absolute shit show, so we may as well make the most of the ground while we can, I guess. One of the problems you encounter out here sometimes, and this is only a new thing for us, is sometimes the Sri Lankans, or whatever nationality it is out here fishing, they'll actually use like an EPIRB or like a man overboard device to mark a fishing net. So right now we've got alarms going off. They're about to hit something, a boat. It's actually said a sailing boat, but there's nothing in front of us. At the moment there's like nine apparent boats around us. I can't see one, which scares the shit out of me, because I know that these guys put their little EPIRBs or their little man overboard devices on top of the nets or whatever. So yeah, a bit scary, but we'll see what happens. So you can see right there, There's 3, 4, 5, 6 apparent boats here. And you cannot see a single boat on the horizon, and they're all supposed to be within a mile.
Excelsior got through unscathed. And that evening, the sea state calmed down as well.
What are you doing way up here, mate? You can't park there.
Day 7 out here, and we've been becalmed again. We're only cruising along between 3 and 4 knots, but it's beautiful, and we've all had a really good sleep tonight in this gentle sea state, so took advantage of it. Brody stayed on shift till 1 a.m. and then I've just come on now at 4 a.m. but it's beautiful. We're making slow and steady progress. The weather's calm and we're all just enjoying it for what it is right now after yesterday, which was pretty hectic with lots of squalls around. Yeah, it's great out here. What the heck is happening?
The boat just sort of went to wind. It went to wind and then the wind shifted. And it was like the autopilot couldn't recover in time. Fucking hell. And we just started going backwards. We went from 8 knots forwards to 2 knots backwards. Here we go, and it's back in. This is fucking weird, eh?
This weather just turned up this morning like in the blink of an eye, and it's really bizarre. We went from almost totally becalmed, full stars out, doing 3 knots to just getting smashed. We had to reef in the head sail, 2 reefs in the head sail.
3.
We got a reef in the main, 3 reefs in the head sail, sorry. And all this weather around us is just whipping things up.
If it gets any worse, we may have to make a break and run down with it for a little while. See if we can't get away from it.
Is it this system here? Yeah.
It's so strange, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like this to me, we've been in 30-35 knot seas on the coast of Australia, and it was nowhere near as wild as this.
No.
It's 17 knots right now, and this sea state is dead set resembling 25-30 knots.
Yeah.
So weird. So weird. And I mean, the current's with us.
Yeah, so it shouldn't be like against it.
It's really, really steep and used for not much wind.
And it was totally calm earlier. Like at 5 o'clock this morning, it was beautiful.
But even the gusts in that storm when it went across, they weren't that strong. Like we had 20, 23, 24.
Yeah.
We had stronger the other night.
Yeah.
35 knots.
35, yeah.
But the sea state is far, far worse today.
Yeah.
You know what it could be? We're just passing along the top of that Masserine plateau.
Right. So the shallow
Shallow water.
Yeah. Who says men can't do 2 things at once? Our captain, hand steering in wild conditions and playing solitaire at the same time. Oh, you're a hoot. They say an unwatched kettle never boils, but an unwatched kettle, in our case, might just jump off the stove. We've been debating how to pronounce this plateau that we're coming up to, and if anyone can tell us the correct pronunciation, that'd be much appreciated. It'll end the debate anyway.
I didn't even know it existed until 3 days ago.
No, neither. It's amazing. And it's huge. Like, how do we not know that in geography?
It goes from 4,000 metres to 8.
Yeah.
That's insane. not like the whole thing's 8 meters. Like the whole thing.
It's between 8 and 150
The
meters.
whole thing's about 100 meters. But there's a bank here. Saya de Maha. Comes out with these names. Saya de Maha. Whatever. That fucking bank there is really shallow. Comes up to 15 meters. And we're in, so we're quite close to it. 4,000 meters up to 15.
Yeah.
There's a good chance that's why this is so shit.
Yeah, I'd say so. It's a Vegemite and cheese cracker kind of day out here today. Perfect salty snack for sea life. That's about it, bro.
Imagine the Mona Lisa, right? But with the Rock's face when he's doing the eyebrow, and that's what it tastes like.
Awesomeness.
Good. Beautiful.
Why do you have to poke a face? Come on, just eat it. Yummy? Good? Yay! Yum yum! It's been one of those days out here. Cappy's over it. And the weather's not looking like improving anytime soon. We've got a flogging head sail. We're still at least 10 to 12 days away. And we've already been out here for 8 now. So, yeah, it's a bit of a shit sandwich.
So we've been keeping a really close eye on the weather routing for the next period. We've just reached halfway, so we've still got about just on 1,100 miles to go before we reach Dar es Salaam. And over the last couple of days we've just been keeping an eye on this area here, which I've told everyone about. This is called the Witch's Cauldron. That's the tip of Madagascar there. This is essentially a compression zone where all the winds from the southeast of the Indian Ocean just come barreling through here. They compress and it really honks along through here. So right now it's saying 23 knots, but we know that there's a ship in here at the moment that's reporting 38 knot winds. So we were contemplating actually pulling up and resting for a couple of nights at an island here, but looking at the forecast ahead, if I hit play, it's a bit slow this, but in a couple of days time what you'll see here is this compression zone really dip in strength and velocity. So I don't think for us we should actually be stopping. I hate this model actually, I cannot stand the PWG, so let's start that again real quick. Right there, click on that there. The PWG just seems to exaggerate everything, it's ridiculous. ECM, WF has been really accurate. GFS isn't too bad either actually, although it tends to exaggerate pressure systems, so low pressure systems and highs. So this is a little low pressure system here. GFS would have that looking like a friggin' cyclone. But anyway, if you keep watching here, as we get through Friday, we're starting to really get quite close to this compression zone here. Wind speed there, 23, 22, and you can just see it starting to drop, 20 knots. So for us, I think it would be wise, as much as we're all desperate to just stop for a night or two and get some rest, for us to pass up an opportunity to go through this area here with the forecast breeze of 19 knots. It's insane. We cannot pass this up. So by Saturday, Sunday this week, we should be passing through this area here with, I'm not going to say benign winds, but benign for this particular area. And once we get through there, we're laughing because it actually then picks up again. But by then we should be in the Mozambique Channel, getting quite close to Tanzania. So I think that's our plan moving forward. It's actually looking even better. So the slower we go, the better, to be honest. But this is a good result. That being said, it's still a long way out. You know, it's next Monday on that forecast, and there's a lot of shit that'll change between now and then. Alrighty, we are on day 9 of our little adventure across the Indian Ocean, and the weather gods for the moment are shining down on us. We've had a rough couple of days, as you would have seen. Yesterday was not pleasant. It was horrible actually. Had us contemplating whether we made the right choice in buying a boat, but today we've awoken to some pretty spectacular conditions. Sarah was on shift this morning. Last night we basically had to motor. It was just shit house sea state, no wind, rolling all over the place. We're just flogging the sails, so we dropped them both and we mowed along on one engine. I went to bed at about 3 o'clock this morning and Sarah took over a shift, and it was great. I woke up just after sunrise. I was obviously buggered, and I woke up to no engine noise and a sail over my head. So Sarah done furled the heady, and we were ticking along nicely at about 4 knots. Then the sea state just sort of calmed right out even more. The swell got really big. I know you can't see that, but the swell got really big, which spaced the periods right out and made it lovely again. So we just decided to throw the spinny. For the first time this entire trip, we got the spinnaker up, which is just, that tells you everything you need to know. We've just done 1,100 miles and we've only just got the spinnaker up now. Lines are out, flashes in the water. See if we can't get a fish. We're just up on top of the Macarene, or however you want to pronounce it, the big plateau there. Into nice, well, shallow water. It's 2,000 meters. We're coming up on a pretty shallow bank here, and then La Roche Island as well. I don't know if you can see any of that, but yeah. So at the moment, we're not doing too badly. We're doing 7 knots over ground. There's not much wind. 8 knots, well, there's 7 knots of breeze, and we're doing 7 knots over ground, but we're being assisted by a pretty decent little current here. 1.7 knots of current just on the tail, which is bloody fantastic. So at the moment we're pretty much sailing to wind speed, which makes me happy.
What is it?
I don't know. Oh, blue.
Mahi mahi, please.
Yeah, I can see blue.
Spanish, please. Do you reckon it's wahoo?
Hard to say.
Holy wahoo!
There you go. Really set that in. Set it in deep.
The crew favourite on Excelsior today, we've got the spinach cob loaf. Just finished baking the insert to put with the cob. And the boys just got a wahoo. We've had the spinnaker off. So much calmer out here. Big swell periods, but they're nice and spaced out, so it's much more comfortable. And yeah, it's a good day all around. We've made it halfway, or we're over halfway, and now we've got plenty of fish instead of chicken. Yay!
Things well and truly ramp up in the next episode when we encounter more squalls that turn into a rotating tropical storm.
It's been a roller coaster ride from hell the last 24 hours. I don't even have the words to describe it.
Thanks for watching. Join us next time for part 2, Onwards and Upwards.